Insider reveals a shocking Dodgers trade report. We get into all that in this edition of Dodgers Digest. Hey, this is Mike Nelson. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Myself and Brad J. We're bringing you everyday Dodger content. We're trying to hit 8,000 subscribers before the trade deadline, so that way me and Brad don't get traded. But make sure to hit that subscribe button and help out a couple cool Dodger fans. But let's get right into the story. As we know, the trade deadline is coming up, and a pretty prominent insider, I would say one of the best ones in baseball, just gave a report that I think everybody should pay attention to. The Dodgers could make Dustin May available. That's right, Dustin May, the pitcher that was out for almost 2 seasons and returned to the Dodgers this year. The Dodgers could be shipping Dustin May out in the next 2 weeks in a shocking development. The Dodgers have considered the possibility of trading right-hander Dustin May, Ken Rosenthal. Yeah, Ken Rosenthal, the dude with the bow ties on Fox. Ken Rosenthal, The Athletic, reports his colleague Fabian Ardaya hears similarly and reminds that Los Angeles has traded starters from its big league roster at each of the past 2 deadlines. James Paxton, and yeah, remember him, Noah Syndergaard. Kind of hard to believe that Syndergaard was on the Dodgers. It seems like so long ago. But James Paxton, remember he was traded at the trade deadline, and now Dustin May seems like he is the name of another pitcher the Dodgers could be shipping out shortly, right, in the next couple weeks. So what are your first thoughts? Comment below. Should the Dodgers trade away Dustin May, right? Should his time with the Dodgers come to an end? He has spent his entire career with the Dodgers organization, right? He was drafted by the Dodgers. He came up through their system. And it's been a long, ride for Dustin with the Dodgers. And, of course, went through the injuries, the terrible injuries he's had to go through. Finally came back to baseball this year. And now he could be on his way out. This article kind of explains a little bit why the Dodgers would be doing that, right? It talks a little bit about how the Dodgers are known to be exploring the market for high-end relievers. We know the Dodgers are a team that is in need of another reliever. And Dustin May just does not Dustin May isn't going to be a key component or a component on any trade where the Dodgers pry a top reliever, right? That's what this article kind of says. If Dustin May isn't going to be a part of a trade like for Ryan Helsley, who I think they should try to get, he's the guy I think the Dodgers should target. He's a free agent at season's end, and this wouldn't hold interest to a club that's gravitating toward the sell side of a deadline spectrum, right? Because if you trade for Dustin May, this guy can walk at the end of the year, right? And the Cardinals are trying to build for the future. If they were to trade Helsley, or if the Twins were to trade Duran, right? Those 2 teams are building for the future. They have no business in this year. The Cardinals potentially could be a team that could, compete for the playoffs this year, but it's unlikely. The Twins are clearly out of the playoffs. They're trying to build for the future. So Dustin May does not fall into that role when it comes to a team that's trying to do that, right? Because Dustin May is probably going to get traded, and then he'll just walk at the end of the year, right? However, trading May could bring in a reliever in a 1-for-1 swap with another contender seeking a rotation help, or could net some additional prospects. But really, I don't buy that. I don't think Dustin May is going to fall into that kind of trade. Do you really think that a team like, say, the Red Sox, or a team the Padres, right? Team that's kind of on the fence, trying to make the playoffs, the Giants, would a team like that be interested in Dustin May? Do you think they would actually be interested in Dustin May after what we have seen so far from Dustin May, which is pretty inconsistent play? He has not been the same Dustin May since the injury. I mean, that is the honest truth. He has not been the same. So would a team be willing to take that risk, even if it's just for a couple months, especially in a high-pressure situation like the teams I just mentioned who are trying to make the playoffs? They actually have a legitimate shot of making the playoffs, and they're going to probably have to play until the end of the season to do that, right? A team like the Brewers or Cubs also trying to win their division. Would they take on a Dustin May? Now, would the Dodgers even trade Dustin May to a National League team, right? I mean, that's honestly another point we have to look at. Would the Dodgers even want to trade Dustin May to a National League team and run the risk of facing Dustin May in the playoffs? I mean, that is a true fact. So I don't know. I don't think Dustin May, if he gets traded, he's probably not going to a National League team. He's probably going to the American League, right? Probably going to the American League, to the other league where, you don't face him to the World Series. You run that risk of, kind of pushing that possibility back. So, yeah, I don't think we see Dustin May go to a National League team. This article kind of talks a little bit more about how, about this situation, right? It's perhaps something the Dodgers don't simply move May to the pen himself, though he presumably preferred to avoid such a move, right? I think Dustin May would prefer to stay as a starter. And I just don't see Dustin May as a relief pitcher. I just can't see it. I don't know what everybody thinks out there, but I just can't see Dustin May really consistently being a relief pitcher. He's in the final season before free agency and his first year back after, of course, the flexor surgery rehab and a separate esophageal surgery. There's no indication at all that May would push back on a more lasting move to relief work, to be clear, but it's arguably in the 27-year-old's righty's best interest to continue as a starter to build that workload up in his platform year. May followed Ohtani with 4 2/3 innings of long relief his last time pitching. So, yeah, I mean, I think Dustin May wants to continue being as a starter, right? Because of that, the Dodgers will be selling low on May. However, given his status as an independent free agent who's likely to receive a qualifying offer anyhow, the alternative will be hanging on to him and letting him go for no return at season's end. Yeah, I mean, that's the other possibility. You hold on to him, you win the World Series this year with Dustin, and then you lose him at the end of the year, right? If the Dodgers are either concerned about his ability to downshift to a bullpen role or simply want to do right by the player and find him an opportunity to continue working out of a rotation, a trade in the next week would make sense, right? That's kind of what this article concludes, and I think I agree. I mean, I think if the Dodgers are not going to keep Dustin May after this year, let's try to get something back for Dustin, right? Let's try to get something back. I mean, you're probably not going to get a big star player. You might get a lower-end reliever or a reliever that's also going to be a free agent, kind of a one-for-one thing, or try to get some young players for him. But I know at 27 years old, Dustin May, with all the injury history, you're probably not going to get a lot for him, especially with the inconsistent pitching this year. So the other alternative, of course, is to hold on to him. I think the Dodgers should explore the trade market for Dustin May, though. I think they're doing the right thing. I think if this report is right from Ken Rosenthal and Fabian Adaya, if the report is legitimate, then the Dodgers are obviously doing their due diligence. They're doing the right thing by shopping the trade market for Dustin May, right? It doesn't hurt them doing this. I think they should do this because Dustin is going to be a free agent, right? And do you really want to keep Dustin May long-term on the Dodgers? I mean, do you see Dustin May, looking at it objectively, do you see Dustin May as a future Dodgers starting pitcher? And in 5 years, do you see Dustin May playing Major League Baseball? I mean, it's getting to that point. Do you really see him playing Major League Baseball in 5 years? I mean, and that's something I think the Dodgers are kind of thinking about right now, the way his career is going. So I think they should shop the trade market, see what they can get for him. And it's going to be exciting next week now, July 31st. So 7 more days. Trade deadline's coming up. So it's going to be really exciting. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any video we have coming up. As always, let's go Dodgers. Woo!